evening. This is QTV Nightly News coming to you from our studios on Keraba Avenue, and I am Asma Uba. Thanks for joining us. Here are the main news headlines. As he concluded his engagements in the Upper River region, President Adama Barrow has expressed concern over the alarming number of youth embarking on irregular migration to Europe and called for the united response to tackle the problem. The Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, will host its 15th meeting of the multidisciplinary team of West Africa and the Sahel on Tuesday. Over the weekend, President Adama Barrow visited rural communities where schools are being upgraded and equipped with modern facilities. The Medical Research Council Unit, the Gambia, at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine held a closing ceremony for 28 students who trained in epidemiology and medical statistics. In international news, there is uncertainty in Sierra Leone over whether a violent incident on Sunday was an attempted coup. Unidentified gunmen attacked the Army's main military barracks in Freetown. And in sports news, to commemorate World Children's Day, which was celebrated on Monday, 20th November, the Media Run Challenge, in partnership with UNICEF, held a run for lower and upper basic school students in the Greater Banjul area. Those and other stories coming up. Do stay tuned. Thank you for staying with us. President Adama Barrow has expressed concern over the alarming number of youth embarking on irregular migration to Europe and calls for a united response to tackle the problem. Meanwhile, over the weekend, the head of state concluded his meetings in the Upper River region, where he set out his development ambitions for the country. Mumudu Lamin Choi reports.
Over the weekend, the Upper River region welcomes the president for a dialogue on the state of affairs of the country. This region is the president's hometown. He also has a strong support base, as evidenced by the outcome of the presidential election. On this tour of the URR, his first meeting is at Mansajang for the constituencies of Basse, Tumana, Jimara and Kantora. President Barrow is out to interact and dialogue with Gambians on national development. Mandated to steer the affairs of the country, the Gambian leader is not oblivious to some of the most pressing challenges facing our country. Notable among these is the continuing trend of Gambian youth taking irregular migration journeys to Europe, resulting in some losing their lives. This has captured the president's attention during his nationwide tour. As a national concern, the president has called for a united effort to tackle the problem. He also underscores his government's commitment to creating 150,000 jobs for the youth in 5 years. In addition to this, he reveals that his government has signed an agreement with the Saudi's Ministry of Labor, which, when finalized, will allow Gambians to travel to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to work. The head of state takes the opportunity to advise the youth to undergo training and acquire more skills to stand a better chance of getting employed within and outside of the country. He gives an assurance that his government is devising means to tackle irregular migration. On behalf of the youth and women of these 4 constituencies, Alaji Mauda Sise and Councillor Haja Jarai Jagana take stock of the government's development record, highlighting access to electricity, construction of roads, hospitals and schools. The councillor informs the president that women's access to their gardens, workplace and hospital has been difficult due to the poor condition of feeder roads. Addressing the constituents, the Minister of Agriculture highlights projects being implemented which seek to transform the agriculture sector. According to the minister, government subsidized the price of fertilizer, provided farmers with seeds, farm machineries, including tractors and power tillers. The Minister of Public Service, Babakar Boy, reports his ministry's efforts to reform the civil service to be more efficient and effective, including by the introduction of a biometric clocking system and a plan to roll out a performance management system next year to track the performance of employees. The next and final meeting in the Upper River region was at Chamoy for the constituents of Sando, Wuli West and Wuli East. The village head, Ibrahim Ture, shares with the president a message of appreciation for his government's development interventions. He, however, raised concern over frequent theft facing his people and appealed to government to reinforce security to tackle crime in the area. Nafa S. Jabai, on behalf of the youth, thanks the president for providing opportunities and empowering the youth. However, he wants the government to develop sports infrastructure and provide amenities in the rural area for the youth to benefit from. Councillor Fatoumata Saho informs the president that while many communities now have access to water gardens and farm machinery, many more lack such facilities. The Ministers of Agriculture and Public Service updated these constituents on the government's interventions to tackle challenges affecting the agriculture sector and the public service. In his final address to the people of Upper River region, President Barrow stresses his desire to leave a positive legacy in the country. In that, he promised to bring about unprecedented development to the people of Wuli and Sandu, mentioning plans to build more roads, improve the agriculture sector, ensure universal access to electricity in the Gambia, and tackle irregular migration. Mohamed Lamin Choi, QTV News.
The Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, will host its 15th meeting of the multidisciplinary team of West Africa and the Sahel on Tuesday. Ahead of the convergence, QTV's Jennifer Sonko had a chat with the FAO Sub-Regional Coordinator for West Africa.
The convergence is meant to devise ways to accelerate the transformation of agri-food systems, thus the team accelerating investments towards agri-food systems transformation in West Africa and the Sahel. The agri-food sector in West Africa generates 36% of regional GDP, with 40% of value added in non-agricultural activities, industries and services, and has the potential to generate economic value added and employment for inclusive growth, food security, poverty reduction and sustainable development. Here is FAO's Sub-Regional Coordinator for West Africa and the Sahel.
This year, this conference where several disciplines from FAO, from government, several experts, but also policymakers from ECOWAS, UEMOA, SEALS, and so on, coming from different offices of FAO. We are getting together here, and donors, we are getting together here to discuss agricultural transformation.
Climate change, more extreme weather events, land use expansion, soil erosion and pest infections are exacerbating agricultural production problems in fragile environments. What are the solutions?
Now, how do we go about? We go about with technologies, with approaches for climate adaptation, climate change adaptation, but also climate change mitigation, For instance, if you produce rice, and you leave the rice straws in the swamp, they produce actually gas, So you have to know how to manage this so that you can reduce the emission of gas,
The 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development has raised awareness of the key role that food systems can play as an entry point for accelerating progress towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. Transformation of agri-food systems is needed to ensure decent incomes for producers and access to affordable, healthy diets while meeting the increasing demand for food from growing and rapid urbanization. This requires constant investment for it to be achievable.
Financing in agriculture in general is an issue. But now government are doing a lot of things with the help of FAO and other partners. Climate financing is in Africa, it was not there before, but now it's being built. Many governments are doing it. But what is important to know also is that what we call vertical funding, from the Green Climate Fund, for instance. The last report of FAO is showing that Africa is coming up very, very strongly in terms of, let's say, attracting this funding.
It is hoped that this convergence will improve and also increase awareness of technology and innovation and their importance in building resilient agri-food systems in West Africa and the Sahel. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jenna Bosongo.
Now, over the weekend, President Adam Barrow visited rural communities where schools are being upgraded and equipped with modern facilities. Mumdulamin Choi is with the presidential tour delegation and he filed this report.
Basic education is compulsory and a right guaranteed for everyone in our constitution. The same law makes it mandatory for basic, secondary and higher education to be accessible nationwide. However, this aspirational right is yet to be realized as many rural dwellers have limited access to education. Even for those able to access to education in rural parts of the country, limited human resources and material capacity is depriving students of quality education. Pakante is the principal of Bakadaji Upper and Senior Secondary School.
That is another major challenge. We lose all our talented students to schools in the Combos because we don't have the science team here. So I think it's very, very important.
Your problem is solved now.
Inshallah. By the first quarter of next year, all your laboratories will be well equipped.
A change of course towards a sustainable solution appears to be on the way as government strives to decentralize and transform the education sector through projects being implemented. The school at Bakadaji is one of several witnessing expansion and rehabilitation. Claudiana A. Cole is the Minister of Basic and Secondary Education.
And when we talk about equity, we want to make sure that all the regions are equal in treatment. Like the principal just said, they used to get their students living here and going to the Combos to go and do science. But that will be a thing of the past when this is ready and all the labs are equipped. The students will stay where they are because we know the challenges that students get when they move from their locations to go to other places.
In the last 5 years, and with support from partners, government has constructed 2,597 new classrooms, 3,116 toilet facilities, and more than 1,000 rooms for teacher accommodation. 100 small classrooms are currently being constructed nationwide. Also, government is implementing a project to rehabilitate and equip laboratories in every upper and senior secondary school. By decentralizing and improving access to education, every community in the country stands to benefit. Among those villages that will benefit is President Barrow's birthplace, Manka Mankunda, where he received his first education.
Western education in this area started in this village. We were the last batch. That was in this village. We started here, our batch. So you see, we moved here around 1975-76 to go to Basse. That's the time when the school was closed. So this is history now, we are repeating history. That means we are building the school again, starting from EDC, where they are going to Julangel. But EDC start from the age of 3, 4. For them to travel 1 kilometer, it is a distance. It's difficult for the villagers. When I came here, they appealed to me personally that we will want an EDC school in this village. I said, well, I think this is a very good idea. I think we should support this idea. I said, I will contact my partners.
Many more Gambians anticipate more investment and await the results of government's drive to expand and upgrade the education sector to afford everyone access to quality education. Mohamed Lamin Choi, QTV News.
That story by Mahmoud Lamin Choi takes us to a commercial break, but when we return, we have more local, international, as well as sports news stories for you. Don't go away.
Trade Fair is back at the Independence Stadium. The Gambia Youth Chamber of Commerce, in collaboration with the Gambia Women Chamber of Commerce, presents 5th edition of National Youth and Women in Agribusiness and Tourism Trade Fair 2023. We are going bigger with variety of amazing products from remarkable youth and women entrepreneurs from the Gambia. We will also be hosting vendors from Senegal, Mali, Nigeria, Benin, and Burkina Faso to leverage the AFCFTA's 1.6 billion free market opportunities. Part of side events include innovation competition, Youth and Women's Day celebration, music and cultural performance, among a host of other entertainment activities. Book a stall today and showcase your business from the 1st to 25th of December 2023. You heard me right. A whole 25 days of sales and networking at the Independence Stadium, Bakau. For further inquiries, call us on 368-5556 or 203-1080. Better still, 52000045.
University welcomes international guests, graduating students, and all other distinguished guests to the smiling coast of West Africa, the Gambia. Established in 2008 under the United Nations Treaty Series, Euclid University is an intergovernmental organization with a university mandate and has over the years transformed to become a center of excellence in higher education. Join us on Wednesday, November 29, 2023 at the prestigious Sir Dawda Kairaba Jawara International Conference Center in Bijilo for a memorable graduation ceremony and celebrating 10 years of great achievements of Euclid University, the Gambia. We are honored to welcome esteemed dignitaries under the patronage of our Chief Guest of Honor, Professor Per Gomez, the Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology of the Gambia.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV News and I am Asma Uba. Now, the Medical Research Council Unit, the Gambia, at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine held a closing ceremony for 28 medical students on epidemiology and medical statistics at its unit in Fajara on Friday. Lolem Kamara attended and she filed this report.
The 3-week introductory course in epidemiology and medical statistics brought together researchers and scientists from 14 countries in sub-Saharan Africa, including from Somalia, Nigeria, Botswana, and Kenya. According to organizers, the initiative aims to empower health professionals across the continent and introduce them to the significance of ensuring good quality measurements of disease exposure status in epidemiology studies and use routinely collected statistics in epidemiological research and to understand their limitations. Professor Umberto Della Sandro, Unit Director at MRC, the Gambia, having such training courses and research is part of their mission as a unit. He encouraged the participants to manifest the knowledge gained during the training in their work.
If they don't use them, they're going to lose them because, this is a sort of a first, you receive such skills, but if you don't really apply them regularly, you're going to forget them. So continue to use the skill and continue to develop themselves.
Health experts say epidemiological research is an important tool to assess health effects in population and can be used to optimize disease surveillance, facilitate outbreak investigation, and provide vital evidence for the evaluation and changes in the health policy. Annette Erath, Associate Professor in Clinical Epidemiology at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, one of the course organizers, elaborates.
They cover everything from study design to measure of effect, measure of impact, to logistic regression, and at the end they even learn about systematic reviews. And there are a lot of interactive sessions where they work in group, and this is really great because they all have different backgrounds. So it was a great exchange of information and experience between them.
Of the 28 students on this training course, 9 are Gambians. Tabo Lucas Seleke, a participant from Botswana, expressed delight at taking part in the training, adding that it was interactive and insightful.
I learned a lot from it because I'm actually more strong in terms of using qualitative research. But here then I was doing epidemiology and medical statistics, which I'll also use to apply in terms of my future research. Not only focus much more only on qualitative research, but also to use it for quantitative research because my background is public policy.
The Medical Research Council of the Gambia at London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine is leading health research in West Africa to save lives and improve health across the world. It is hoped that the 3-week concentrated course in the Gambia will give participants a clear understanding of the fundamental principles of epidemiology and medical statistics. For QTV News, Lolly M. Kamara.
From local news, let's now take a look at international news in a moment. There is uncertainty in Sierra Leone over whether a violent incident on early Sunday was an attempted coup. Unidentified gunmen attacked the Army's main military barracks, Wilberforce Military Barracks in Freetown. Aliou Ceesay is monitoring developments from Abuja, Nigeria, where ECOWAS parliamentarians are in session. And he now reports.
Residents of Sierra Leone's capital, Freetown, woke up to the sound of heavy gunshots in the early hours of Sunday morning. Multiple sources seen by QTV indicate unidentified gunmen attacked Wilberforce Military Barracks close to the president's residence and attempted to break into an armory. Sources quoting prison authorities also confirmed that the Central Pademba Road prison was breached and inmates freed. It is unclear exactly how many prisoners were freed. However, some put the figure at 2,000. There is a total blackout. The internet is quite down. The central prison is open and criminals are marauding and celebrating, a source told QTV from Freetown on Sunday afternoon. The Sierra Leonean government has declared a nationwide curfew to contain further escalation. In a statement on Sunday, Sierra Leone's Information Minister Chernoba urged all citizens to stay indoors. In a statement posted on X, formerly called Twitter, President Madabia confirmed the incident. He, however, said the gunmen were repelled by the security forces, adding that calm was restored in the capital. Here is an excerpt from the president's address to the nation.
Most of the leaders have been arrested. Security operations and investigations are ongoing. We will ensure that those responsible are held accountable through due process. I acknowledge the bravery and dedication of our armed forces, police, and all those who played a role in defeating this attempt to undermine the peace and stability we have worked so hard to achieve. Their commitment to the defense of our democracy deserves our deepest gratitude. I thank all citizens for complying with the security measures and advise everyone to remain vigilant and to cooperate with the security forces.
Bio was re-elected in June this year in a disputed election, the result of which was rejected by the main opposition candidate and his party, who until 2 weeks ago, when they did so, had refused to take up their parliamentary seats. The political situation in Sierra Leone has since remained tense. Protests staged against the government in August led to the death of 6 police officers and at least 21 civilians. President Bio described the protest as an attempted coup. Reacting to this latest incident, the sub-regional bloc ECOWAS, the US, UK, and European Union have condemned the violence. The West African bloc ECOWAS calls for the arrest and prosecution of all participants in this illegal act. This latest attempt is seen as possibly another serious attempt to reverse the country's democratic gains. As the wider motive for the attack remains unclear, it is uncertain whether, beyond the current curfew, this will result in a serious clampdown not only in the political sphere, but also some media and civil society too. Reporting for QTV News from Abuja, Nigeria, I am Aliou Ceesay.
From international, we now take a look at sports news. Now, to commemorate World Children's Day, which was celebrated on Monday, 20th November, the Media Run Challenge, in partnership with UNICEF, held a run for lower and upper basic school students in the Greater Banjul area, from Westfield to traffic lights at Fajara. More in this report by Ansumana Isonyasi.
The day is commemorated on the 20th of November each year to honor childhood and highlight challenges affecting children, including abuse and violation of their rights. Hence, the global theme for this year, For Every Child, Every Right. As part of events marking the celebration this year, UNICEF partnered with the Media Run Challenge to bring together children from schools across the Greater Banjul area to engage in a series of activities, including a marathon run from the Westfield roundabout to traffic lights at Fajara. Highlighting the need to support and protect children, Abdullah Jawa, chairman of the Media Run Challenge, and Nuha Jata, an education specialist at UNICEF, challenge everyone to ensure that children in their homes and communities get the support they need to live meaningful lives to become responsible adults in future.
Today we join the rest of the world to celebrate children. We partnered with the UNICEF to make sure we amplify and echo whatever that is the children have to say and demand their right. Like as the theme for this year goes, every child, every right. And we believe every child has his or her own right that needs to be respected and be amplified.
We want every child to realize all the rights, from education, protection, health, access to all of the facilities that children need. So this is why we are celebrating this. We put in the marathon because we want to emphasize that health is important. It is not an option, because if a country is healthy, it reduces the health bill, and therefore you can spend that resources on realizing other rights like education, nutrition, protection, and the like.
Children who took part in the celebration expressed excitement and optimism as various speakers highlight issues affecting them. Khadija Tubajo, a student at St. Teresa's Upper Basic School, who joined many of her colleagues in the marathon, says it is important to celebrate children.
I feel so excited because a day like today, we the children are celebrating a day, and a day that is meant for children. So I feel so excited for that.
The marathon run was the main highlight of the day, as children between 14 to 17 years participated in the 3-kilometer run. 12 to 14 years, 2 kilometers, and 9 to 12 years took part in the 1-kilometer run. Popular fitness trainer Mahmoud Wali of Wali Fitness, who facilitated the marathon and other physical exercises, says it is important for children to keep fit.
Well, for children to keep fit is the most important thing in their life, because that will help them to do more and be active in class. If your child is very fit and you make sure your children are having enough sleep, when they go to class they will perform very well. Sleeping is the most important thing parents should push their children to do. At least they should have 8, 9, 10 hours sleep maximum. Yeah, push your child to exercise. During school break time, they can have exercise. When they come home after studies, allow them to play around. It is good for their health. Do not allow them to be eating too much and staying at one place.
Although much has been achieved, some challenges remain as children in the Gambia still face corporal punishment, high rates of child marriage, female genital mutilation, and physical and sexual abuse, particularly against girls in schools, communities, and the tourism sector. Answana Sonyasi for KTV News.
Well, that's all we have for you, but before we go, a recap of our main news headlines. As he concluded his engagement in the Upper River region, President Adama Barrow has expressed concern over the alarming number of youth embarking on irregular migration to Europe and called for the United's response to tackle the problem. The Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, will host its 15th meeting of the multidisciplinary team of West Africa and the Sahel on Tuesday. Over the weekend, President Adama Barrow visited the rural communities where schools are being upgraded and equipped with modern facilities. The Medical Research Council Unit, the Gambia, at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine held a closing ceremony for 28 medical students who train in epidemiology and medical statistics. In international news, there is uncertainty in Sierra Leone over whether a violent incident on early Sunday was an attempted coup. Unidentified gunmen attacked the Army's main military barracks in Freetown. In sports news, to commemorate World Children's Day, which was celebrated on Monday, 20th November, the Media Run Challenge, in partnership with UNICEF, held a run for lower and upper basic school students in the Greater Banjul area. That's all we have for you in this news bulletin. Join us again at 10 p.m. for more news. Thanks for watching and have a great evening.